They were called Egyptians, Tatars, and Bohemians. But it's all a lie. Who are they? 12 million people. 1,000 years of wandering. One of the greatest mysteries of history. Today, we will analyze the origin of the Gypsies, scientifically, without romance and without prejudice. Spoiler alert. Their homeland is not Egypt or Romania. This is India. More precisely, it's northwest. But how did they find out? And why didn't anyone know for so long? Let's take it in order. Linguists found the first clue. In the 18th century, a Hungarian student noticed something strange. Istvan Vali noticed. The Gypsy language is similar to the language of Indian students from Malabar. Word for word. The Romani language belongs to the Indo-Aryan group. He is a relative of Hindi, Punjabi, Sindhi. The word Roma means man in Romani. Not gypsy, just a man. Then the geneticists came. In the 2000s, DNA analysis has put the finishing touch. The study of the year 2012. All Roma come from the same ancestral group from India. Their closest genetic relatives, Dalits and Adivasis of northwestern India, lower castes. The caste system in India was brutal. The people below worked as musicians, blacksmiths, and merchants. It was these professions that the Gypsies retained after 1,000 years of wandering. An accident? Hardly. But why did they leave? That's where the story gets really interesting. The exact cause of the outcome is unknown, but historians have several strong versions. The first version, the invasion of Mahmud Ghaznavi. In the 11th century, he plundered northern India. Millions of people fled to the west. Among them were the ancestors of Rome. Thus began the journey of 1,000 years. The second version, gradual trade migration. Artisans and musicians went to earn money. The third version, they were military mercenaries. And after losing the war, they simply did not return home. Most likely all at once. History is rarely simple, especially such a long one. The Exodus began around the 9th or 10th century. We know this for sure from linguistic borrowings. There are Persian, Armenian, and Greek words in Romani, like layers of sedimentary rocks. Every stop is on the way. They weren't walking fast. Some communities lived in Persia for 100 years before moving on. By the 14th century, the first Roma reached the Balkans. Europe was already waiting for them, with chains. The first European documents on Gypsies, 1385th year, the Balkans, Serbia. At first, they were well received. Local rulers gave certificates of protection, exotic. They explained their presence beautifully. We are pilgrims, exiled from Little Egypt, the Europeans believed. Little Egypt, perhaps a region in Greece or Macedonia, not Africa. But the name stuck. The word Hypsis, distorted Egypt. That's how delusion became the name of the people. The word gypsy is similar in Russian, probably from the Greek atsinganos, untouchable. The honeymoon with Europe did not last long. By the 15th century, the first expulsions began. 1471. The first law on the expulsion of Rome, the Holy Roman Empire. In Romania, gypsies were turned into slaves. Moldavia, Wallachia, until the middle of the 19th century. Romani slavery in Romania was abolished in 1850, later than in the USA. Spain tried to forcibly assimilate the Roma. She took away the children. She forbade language, but the language survived. The culture has survived because she lived in people, not in books and not in walls. And then the 20th century came, and it got even worse. Porimos. That's what Roma call the Holocaust. In Romani, this means devouring, or the devastation. The Nazis considered the Roma racially inferior, according to racial laws, 1935. From 500,000 to 1.5 million, Roma died in concentration camps. There is still no exact data. Western Europe officially recognized this as genocide only in the 1980s. Late. Many survivors have not received compensation because they weren't officially considered victims. But the Roma survived, as always, because you can't burn the culture embedded in the songs. The 8th of April, International Roma Day. It was installed in 1971 in London. Enough about the tragedies. Let's talk about what really amazes, about their culture. Roma music has changed world culture. Flamenco, jazz, classical. There's a trace of them everywhere. Flamenco. It is directly gypsy music brought to Spain from India through the Middle East. Liszt, Brahms, Ravel drew inspiration from gypsy musicians. This is documented. Django Reinhardt, Roma. He invented jazz manouche and played with 2 fingers after being burned. The Romani language is still alive. There is no single written language, but there are 200 dialects around the world. In Romani, there is no word for the past in grammar. They live in the present, literally. The concept of marime, ritual impurity, came directly from the Indian caste system.
We live in a house now.
Roma's family is an absolute value. The extended clan is more important than the state and the church. Nomadism is a myth. Today, most of the Roma are settled, but the stereotype lives on. The tradition of oral transmission of knowledge has made it possible to preserve the language and history without a single book. Roma gave European languages words. Love means money, LOL means red, chav means guy. There are 12 million Rum in the world today. Most of them are in Central and Eastern Europe. Roma, the largest ethnic minority in Europe, without their own state, without their own territory. There are 2.5 million in Romania. There are hundreds of thousands in Bulgaria, Hungary, and Spain. The level of poverty, discrimination, and unemployment among Roma is several times higher than the European average. At the same time, the contribution to culture is disproportionately huge. Musicians, actors, world-class athletes. Charlie Chaplin supposedly had gypsy roots. Elvis Presley too. Although this is debatable, there are stereotypes about thieves and fortune tellers. But this is the result of marginalization, not gypsy nature. When they don't take you to school, they don't give you a job or a place to live, there's not much choice. This is not a mentality. Interesting fact, the Roma have never fought wars over territory. For its entire history, their religion is syncretic. They accepted the faith of the country where they live. Catholics, Orthodox, Muslims. The Roma do not have a single state, but there is an international Roma Union. Since 1971, 1,000 years, 15,000 kilometers from India to the Atlantic, without a state, but with culture. Roma, the people who survived everything. Maybe it's because they've never held on to a place, only for their own.